your choice to click in to chat with Trina. And tonight I'm here with Miss Lucy Carroll. Hey there, hey.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for joining me tonight.
It's my pleasure.
So tell us about you. Where'd you grow up? Which was a shocker to me. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Montgomery County of Montgomery, Alabama. I grew up in a little small town, like 25 miles outside of the city limits. I call the country what is considered the country. Some people may say the suburbs, but it was a rural area where we owned our own property and did our own thing. Yeah.
Because I always thought you were from Houston, even though I've heard you say every so often you was going home.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to talk another day. I was like, that's right, she's from out of town. So what was school like for you? Like, what did you do? Were you involved in stuff? And
yeah, growing up, well, in school, once I got to high school or junior high school, and high school, I was junior honor society, the math club, prep bowl. Prep bowl was what you got in when you was preparing for college.
Okay.
The Upward Bound program, which is also geared toward college, where I was prepping myself for Alabama State. And I was cheerleader, junior cheerleader, and I was also senior cheerleader and captain of the cheerleaders. I was part of the drill team.
Oh, you were all over.
Yeah, I was always active in school.
Okay.
On a roll. Didn't become, didn't have the tassel around my neck, but I did pretty good in school.
What are brothers and sisters? You have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I come from a pretty large family. It was 9 of us, 5 girls, 4 boys. My eldest brother passed maybe, close to 3 years ago.
Okay.
And that was one thing we say a blessing. My mom, she always said she wanted to go before us, and she didn't want to have to, work with her children. And, that God granted her that, which I say was a blessing for her to see all of her children well up in age.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm in the 60 mark, and then I have 2 under me and the rest older. So it's.
Oh, okay. So you come almost in the middle, almost.
I'm in the middle of the girls.
Okay.
All the boys are older than I am.
Married? Oh.
No, I'm single. I'm consider myself single because I've been divorced for so long. I've been divorced now for more than 18 years.
Okay.
Living the single life and enjoying it.
You enjoy, so you're not single and ready to mingle?
Well, I'm mingle, but I'm just not trying to
get a ring.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to do that right now.
Do you think you'll eventually ever want to get married? I mean, it's not a never say never.
No, I never say never because I don't know what God has in store for me. So I never say never. When you first get a divorce, you's like, I'll never do that again. But I have pretty good prospects, so you never know.
I want to get married again, but I don't have no prospects. So, oh well, don't nobody want me.
Yes, they do.
So what about children?
I have 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl.
Okay.
They're all 30 plus, in their 30s, and I have 18 grandchildren.
What?
Yes, 18 living. I have 1 that passed at birth. But I have quite a large family here. It's only myself and my kids and grandchildren that are here in Houston. I have a family here.
So I mean, with you having 9 children, I bet you have a host of nieces and nephews.
No, well, yeah, it's a lot. I have a lot of nieces and nephews.
Yeah. Wow.
And as quiet as it's kept, I'm their favorite aunt.
What do you do outside of dance? One of your real job. What is that?
Well, my real job and enjoyment is event planning. However, my 9 to 5.
There you go.
My government given job.
There you
I work for the Department of Justice. I've worked there 20 plus years, quite a few years.
Yeah.
Hopefully to, retire soon. So I am an officer of the court. So
Okay.
I'm held at a higher standard than most.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I have
that's something that I think a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
That
So,
you do that.
yeah, and I have to, carry myself a certain way.
Because it can come back on you.
It can always come back, and
Yeah.
don't want to ever, damage that reputation of working for the federal government.
Absolutely. We don't want that to happen either.
Right.
And your next thing, you love event planning, and that time, how did you get into that?
I started event planning back. I've always been into crafts where I like to make things. I like making flowers, vases, just centerpieces. I've always done that. Back in 96, I think it was, I decided to get married, and I did my own wedding. And from that, people started asking me, and that was in Alabama, of course, started asking me events and things for them to decorate and plan things for them. And that's how it became, started a hobby. And I still look at it as a hobby, even though I do it as a business, and it's dear to my heart, a passion of mine. I really enjoy it. And it's mind soothing. It's, for the, for my mental
people
state.
say about cooking.
Yes, I really enjoy that. I enjoy event planning, and I also enjoy cooking. I have catering license as well. I'm a caterer, so I enjoy.
That's something I don't find soothing. My mama say that cooking is soothing. I don't find it soothing at all. My nerves get bad.
Yes, it is. I like creating different types of foods. I'll experiment with different things to create an appetizer or a different type dish.
How did you find dance here in Houston?
When I came to Houston, I've always danced. My dad taught me dance, like old school swing, which I always considered like the way they do two-step here as old school swing, because it's similar to the way I learned. And I was able to just glide into that portion of it. But to get into dance, a friend of mine that I had met when I first got here, Ron Cage.
Yes.
He was, I had recently been, moving around after I had gotten my divorce. And I met him at Diallo's. I ventured out, and he was telling me about, people dancing, and I should go and learn how to swing out. And when I was looking at the people, I'm like, I already know how to do that, So he was telling me about a count. So he took me to Liddell. That's how I met Liddell.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he took me to Liddell. Liddell was teaching at this place off of McGregor. I think it was Tony's or Tommy's or something.
Must be Tony's. Okay.
So I went there, and I went to maybe about 2 or 3 classes, but that was so far for me because I'm on the northwest side. And I just kind of fell off the radar. And then he started telling me about other places. So I went to Mr. A's, where it was Mary Collins, Joanne, and Joanne, your mom.
Oh, my mama. Oh, really? Okay.
And, yeah.
Ronaldo was there too then. Ronaldo was there too, my stepdad.
Yes.
Okay.
And Mary Collins was actually my first official swing out instructor. Well, Brenda Matthews came to the class one night and was helping us in the class, helping with the class. She kind of filled in one night. And then after that, I saw her at, I think it was Divas, Club Divas. And she asked me about coming teaching with her. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So Brenda asked me about coming to assist her with teaching, be a helper or whatnot. And I did that. And she was teaching at Club 20 Grand. And that's how I really got into it. And I started helping her, being her assistant or helper. Then I became instructor helper. Then I became a co-instructor and just kept moving up the little chain.
Yeah.
And became an instructor.
Okay. Now that's almost like I chatted with Henry a few weeks ago, and you'd be thinking, this, but his story, I didn't know, but yours is definitely one that I know I didn't know. So I'm sure most people didn't know that you started back with Liddell. I didn't know that you knew Ron Case that long.
Yeah, I've been knowing Ron that was my bestest male friend here in Houston ever.
Wow. Rest in peace, Ron Case. For those who don't know, Ron passed about 2 years ago now?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. He was a very fun guy.
Yeah.
Is that when he started coming to Divas, is when you started coming over there, or y'all just?
Yeah, he started coming to Divas. We all would come together as a little group.
Okay.
And just hang out.
What made you decide to teach, to go into teaching?
Well, encouragement from others, from Brenda, from Lady Champagne out in Fort Worth, because that was something we talked about, and with with help from her guidance, and helping me further my learning both sides. Being able to do the lead and working with Brenda, and it was fun, and I saw the need where people really wanted to learn, and we wanted them to learn the proper way of dancing and being able to dance with anybody that they chose to, that they wanted to get on the floor with.
Right.
So it was kind of rewarding for me. It was a release.
Yeah, we were rolling, like we were having a good time back then. And you did something that you started doing different things to keep the dance growing, keeping us on the dance floor. So you had a couple of places, a couple of locations and venues for us, like Houston House of Swing.
Right, that was both Brenda and myself, Brenda Matthews.
Yeah.
We got together because we were teaching together, and we thought that, hey, Houston needs a place that we could just come. We was doing other events as well, weddings and such, but it was for a place for everybody to be able to come and just dance and enjoy. And it started out where we wanted to get a group of people together to come in, because we were part of Houston Bayou City Dance Association at the time. And we wanted to make it a place where we could do it. Instead of renting places, we would have our own. And we did it as long as it lasted. It was a lot of fun. And during that time, we also got together with Liddell, John Forney, a few others, and kind of duplicated what they were doing in Dallas and Fort Worth with the gentlemen, the distinguished gentlemen. So we had the distinguished gentlemen of Houston, so that no lady would be left behind. Everybody would get a dance. Ed Rogers.
Yes, rest in peace, Ed.
Yes, it was just a bunch of people that came together.
I still have my so when I had my gala, you remember I used to have them come and be a part, and so they could make sure women who didn't have anyone to dance, that they would dance with them. I still cherish the picture of me sitting in the middle of all of them. I take it's at my job, I keep it at my job, and in a nice frame, because I love that picture, and that memory was just so awesome.
Yeah, that was I guess considered the good days, when
good old days.
Luther Johnson. It was just a bunch of them, and then the guys would come from Dallas. We would do every weekend. Dallas and Fort Worth would come down. The guys would come. The distinguished gentlemen from there, and everybody came together, and it was just a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing.
It really was. It was really beautiful.
It wasn't as much. I'll say. Also did. What was the place on Antoine?
We did Next Level.
Next Level, yeah.
Next Level with Missy Lane, rest in peace.
Yeah. She passed?
Yes, Missy Lane passed. I had put it out there on Facebook when she passed. And
how long has that been?
That's been maybe about, I want to say about 4 or 5 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I did attend the services. It was a beautiful service.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was really nice, and that was heartfelt, because she did a lot for the dance community, not just for me, not just
And
for me.
she
She did,
followed me,
you know.
she would follow me on not just social media, but LinkedIn.
Yes.
DJ Lethal Weapon. He was one of y'all's first DJ, or was he the
Right.
first DJ?
Right. He was the first DJ. Brenda and I brought him in. Ed Rogers is the one that gave me his number. He knew of him, and he gave me his number. I called him, and Brenda and I talked to him. And you told him, if you work with us, you grow with us, we'll make you one guarantee. You'll be the hottest DJ in Houston. You'll be the best swing out DJ there ever was, for Houston. So, and I think that did come true, because I think he got awards for that, being the best DJ.
And he's a popular DJ with the ISDC dance competition.
Right, he's a very good DJ. He's awesome.
And he DJ'd for me Sunday night at for the Red Rooster. So, yeah, and actually I stole Kevin from y'all and took him on the cruise, the So You Want to Dance cruise too.
Yeah.
But yes, Kevin has grown up from look like a little boy to grown man with a grandchild.
And then I also have this DJ Will. When I call him, he'll show up, and also DJ Ice-T. He will come through for me. And I can also reach out to Corey when I need something.
Corey, yes.
Corey is a sweetheart. He's always
that is a sweetheart. I think out of and I just be real, I love Corey. Corey is one that is very dependable.
Yeah. He's very positive.
Is it humble?
Yes, and he's very positive.
And I like him. I can get on his nerves all night long, and he's still gonna try to have me play my song.
And just smile. He just smile.
And just kind of laid back. Yeah, love me some Corey.
Oh, I do the Lindy Hop jitterbug, the bug tussle, and also the buck dance.
Buck dance. I think that was it. I was that before.
Right.
So those are things that you did back home.
Right. I learned that from my dad and, just other people, because back in the day, they would always have these house parties. So you just get out there and dance, and, they show all the kids how to dance. So you just dance. And for me, buck dance is similar to the same pattern as two-step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you do your 1, 2, you do, like, as I say, the stutter step.
Back 1, 2, 1, 2.
Right. And it's just like the that same pattern.
Okay.
So it's fun.
Is swing out your first dance of choice?
Yes.
So what other dances do you do that we do currently? Like, do you do Chicago? Do you do Houston two-step?
Yeah, I do Houston two-step. As they say, as 5 Heartbeats say, I dabble in Chicago stepping.
There you go. That's my word for I dabble. I do enough to
follow.
get on the floor.
I do well enough to be on the floor. I think I can, because I know how to do other dances, and I learned how to follow. Brenda did a very good job of teaching me how to follow. So I feel that I can get on the floor and hang with anybody if they don't try to do too much out of the norm for me. So
yeah. Do you have any dance mentors or someone that you, I don't know if the word would be emulate, but someone that you kind of, I don't know what the word would be, that someone that you would see as your mentor in dance? If there's more than one, that's fine too.
Well, like I say, Brenda taught me a lot. Brenda taught me a lot when it came to the dance too. She got me started with everything. When they would always talk about DFW. So I said, okay, let's go to the source. So I would say my mentor is Lady Champagne. When it comes to, original swing out. And doing it DFW style. That's my mentor. Because if I'm stuck.
Lady Champagne too. Shout out to Lady Champagne. Woo-hoo.
Yes. Yep. If I'm
the diva, the original diva.
The original diva, the original legend of dance of swing.
Yeah.
And I've also went and danced with Jerry Palmer, because I like the way he dances as well.
Did you get to, I know you met Hitman then.
Yes, that was my heart. Oh, I love dancing with Hitman. Really? I love dancing with him.
I think I got the opportunity maybe once.
Yep. And also I got some pointers from Tracy Malone. He's one of the Fort Worth dancers, legends of swing as well. So I got pointers from him as well. When we would travel out there, we used to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we would go
I miss that too.
Yeah, we would go to
Every other.
Killeen, Austin, just Dallas. We just went everywhere to dance, and it was fun.
I definitely missed that group in Austin. I missed ago. I saw the hotel we used to have. They had the event in, and where we used to stay. I was like, oh my God, those were such good fun days.
Yeah, it was easy to do that. I mean, it was cost efficient.
So why did you stop teaching temporary? I know it's temporary, but why did you stop? And do you plan to start back eventually?
I've gotten a lot of requests to start back teaching, mainly when, people see me dance with someone and it's really good dance. They'll ask me, am I an instructor? And, where do you teach?
Yeah.
I stepped back from teaching mainly because of other obligations and health reasons, which was a priority. And, things have gotten better, but I still have, medical issues going on. So nowadays I move a little bit different because I do have underlying health conditions. So I move different, and I choose how often I be out because health is
more important.
Right.
So when COVID came up, being that you have some other conditions going on, is that what took you so long to finally come and put your toe in the water, your pinky toe in the water?
Yes, and I'm still very, very cautious. And one thing, I mean, I'm a very private person. I don't put my business out there or put things out on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I can say it, I don't mind, because I am a living testimony. God brought me to it, so he brought me through it.
Absolutely.
For roughly 4 months, I was home ill with COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, I contracted COVID in February. Well, twice actually, but the last time it was in February of 2020. 2020.
2020. Okay.
I had it previously in 2019 and didn't know it. They didn't know it.
You must have had the antibody test.
Right. And when I did, I had it in February of 2020. And I was down for the count for 4 months. I didn't start getting better until June.
Did you end up having to be hospitalized?
No, I didn't go to the hospital.
Good.
I stayed confined in my bedroom, and it's a habit. It's kind of, I need to get out of the habit because my bedroom is fashioned as if I'm in a hotel room with a refrigerator, microwave, coffee pot.
That is funny.
Because I had to stay away from my family.
Yeah. So who helped you? I guess your family, your daughter and your sons.
My son, which was here with me, that was a big help. If I needed anything during the course of the day, he would bring it to the door. Early in the morning, I would come in the kitchen before everybody got up and, prepared, force myself to eat. And go back to my room. I would sanitize everything before going back in. I would go outside in the evenings, to catch a little sunlight.
Yeah.
And then sprayed, wash door handles, doorknobs and things on the way back. And that was my routine daily, getting up, to get up was a challenge.
Definitely. I can imagine.
Yeah, that was a challenge, just to get up and get to the bathroom to take a shower. I would have to rest.
So that painful?
I wasn't in any pain. It was just sick, you're just weak and everything was affected, you didn't have the energy, either you were rushing to the bathroom, trying to rush to the bathroom, to keep from messing everything up. And, when I try to go take a shower, I would have to rest on the side of the bathtub in order to take a shower and start the process all over again, traveling back to the bed. Yeah.
So it just drains you too.
Exactly. You be completely drained,
Wow.
So I did a lot of home remedies and got back to the things that we did when we were young, when we didn't get sick, like the garlic and the onions and things of that nature. People are worried about other things, you know, you have to think about the health and the elderberries and
Yeah.
the teas, you know, things
Okay.
that you had when you were younger and you didn't get sick.
Well, I tell you what I do believe in when I'm got a cold or something. The first thing I grab is my chicken noodle soup. It's got to be. I don't want no homemade. I want Campbell's. That's
And
what.
see, I did all of
And I
it
used
myself.
to. What else used to help me? This is so funny to me. I don't know if you know. My grandmother passed. Actually, around the time COVID, the same year, a couple of months from Tito. And, but she didn't pass with COVID or anything. She had dementia. But what I was going to say is that I used to love to go lay in her bed. There was a smell about her bed and her sheets that it just made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I found it's called Vicky Teal was the perfume, and I found that perfume at a store, Burlington. They don't have it now, but I would buy that because I wanted to smell my grandmother, you know. But laying in her bed, rolling around in her bed, even as a little girl, just the smell of my grandmother made me feel.
There's that comfort.
It was a comfort, yeah.
Yeah.
And she just always, her bathroom would like just smell so good and smell like her. It was like this light. I can't describe it, but this smell that just.
I know what you mean. I understand.
Smell.
I do that sometime. I put on my mom's house coat. My mom had this house coat that was real thick and soft. And when I, you know, that feeling comes over me.
Yes.
And I actually like a couple of days ago, because her birthday was on the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And I did that, and, you know, just put it on and just go through it, you know.
Well, since I don't have a perfume, Mr. Goodbar, she hooked me up with Mr. Goodbars. One time I have a Mr. Goodbar, or I go in the store and see a Mr. Goodbar, there she is, right there. Yeah, Grandma, I'm gonna get a Mr. Goodbar. I ain't supposed to have one, but I'm gonna get one so we can share it. Do you plan on teaching again?
I've been thinking about it. I think I will.
Okay. Well, you let us know. Keep us.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm contemplating. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm contemplating.
All right. Well, we know at least you're thinking about it.
Especially if I retire.
Huh?
If I retire, I might. I don't know. I just want to enjoy peace.
Exactly. Especially some of your, especially if it gets, it'll be nice to have a class or a thing that's, you know, drama free where people could just go. And maybe you just don't need to do it as often and do all the extra stuff with it. 2 things that you think are important that people should teach, that dance instructors should teach their students. 2 things.
Just 2?
No.
Okay. I would say the most important is lead, follow, and combine that as one: lead, follow, and dance etiquette.
Tell me something that you think, name the top etiquette, the number 1 etiquette rule that you think.
I think the number 1, I would say, is the respect on the dance floor, your space.
Having that little space.
And I say that because now that I've started going back out, and even prior to, I don't dance as often, because normally, most times when I do, I feel like I'm in a
bumper cars.
Bumper cars, or I'm out there. What those people do, the roller derby.
Roller derby.
Right, because people are literally stepping, and, you know, I dance in my heels. I've actually had ladies to come in between me and the person I'm dancing with and actually step inside of my shoe.
Ooh.
Their heel have went inside my shoe.
That's crazy.
And the guys are not paying attention to their partners, and they're bumping, and people are bumping into one another.
Yeah, and they don't look behind them. I don't know if the instructor's not teaching them that, because I'm very cautious about, especially in Chicago, to be honest, Chicago on a Sunday, which, sidebar, why I like going on Thursdays. But anyway, because on Sunday, you know, you got to tell them, hey, you got to look for yourself, because they ain't looking back there, you know. So I agree with that.
I think I have a concussion.
Yes, they do not be. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I won't go there.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all about them having fun.
It's about them having fun, but it's also about people helping them to understand.
Yeah, they need to learn the dance etiquette.
Dude, you the leader, you got to make sure your girl, your follower ain't running into something or people.
Right. And that's what we as instructors need to assure is being done.
Mm-hmm. Forget, I've heard some people say dance etiquette to them is not teaching on the dance floor. Now, I hate people teaching on the dance floor to a certain extent, but let's just say Kent Sharp. He knows how to teach on the dance floor, but not teach on the dance floor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like he will do a step and you be like, oh my God, you want to get it. And you say, oh, could you do that again? And he'll do it. And not like fussing at you or not trying to be seen. It's real. He'll just take you back through that move. He'll just take you that, you know what I mean? Ken is one that he can do. And there's a few of them, but Kent, it comes straight to my mind. Kent Sharp is one that can do. So several women, especially I call them our seasoned VIPs. They complain that they pay for classes, then they can't get a dance. What do you say to those women? And do you think that male instructors or women instructors who have male students should be obligated to dance with their students?
I don't think that you have to be obligated, feel obligated to do it. I think as an instructor, to give them more confidence to dance with others, because a lot of people don't have that confidence yet, especially if they're just starting out. Start the ball rolling by getting up and dancing with, you don't have to dance with every one of them, just dancing with some of your students. I will dance with anybody, regardless of whose student it is. I'll dance with anybody, give them, and I'm going to dance. I'm not going to critique or criticize. I'm going to dance and do what they're leading me into.
Yeah.
Now, sometime I do have and ask them can you do that again? Yeah. And when they do it again, I do it in a way where they understand that, okay, I'm not teaching you, but I'm helping you to lead me. And, and if they don't mind, I always ask. Because I don't, because some men get, they're a little, feel some kind of way with women trying to give them instruction. So
what do you tell your women who may not get a dance and they complain, Lucy, I'm paying to go to this class and I go out to these events and I don't get no dance. I just don't want to go anymore. What would you say to someone with that?
Outside of us, as what we used to do, when we take our students out or ask them to go somewhere for the first time, we let the guys know, okay, these are my students. If you can you grab them, get them out on the dance floor. That's what we used to do. But I don't teach anymore. So I haven't done that. But if I know somebody that wants to dance and they're not getting it, I'm going to say, this is a new student. Could you go over there and dance? Because I've told guys that I've taught to do that. Yeah. And I would say to the women that feel they don't get dances to be a little bit more aggressive and walk over and say, hey, would you like to dance with me? Can I have this dance? If they're at the table with somebody that you want to dance, hello, everybody, excuse me, do you mind if I ask him to dance? Because you don't know who's who. Yeah. That's just common courtesy, just being respectful regardless. So I would suggest they just be more aggressive and ask.
So it's so crazy. Me, you've said it a few times on this show tonight, that it's so crazy how things have changed in our dance community. And, it's never been perfect. But we had some good times, really good times. And we've met so many lifelong friends. But we never had to search for a place to dance. Monday through Sunday, we had somewhere to go. Yeah. What do you miss the most about when we were deep into the dance community and the dance stuff? What do you miss the most?
I miss the camaraderie that we had. I sometimes miss what was considered the friendship and the networking. Where we would travel to different places and we had friends. It was like you could go there. Oh, girl, just come on. Don't worry about it. Or you wanted to go to an event because everybody was having events out of town and you wanted to go and and you couldn't go. And if that person reached out to you and you said, well, I want to come, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to foot that bill or whatever. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Yeah. We'll call. We know some people that's going to be coming. Or you can come. We'll see if we can, make arrangements, things like that. That was where it was really about the dance and everybody coming out to dance with one another and enjoy. Right. Because I can't count the number of times that we went to Dallas, and we would if it was a large group of us, I would book hotels for everybody, with hopes of being reimbursed.
With hopes.
Yeah. And we would do that. We would do it a lot, and we would have fun. Sometimes, there would be people, well, stay here, but I wouldn't do that. I would stay with my group. I wouldn't stay at the people's houses because I didn't want to leave the group.
Of course.
And I go sometime now just to get away, and I go and, hang out with my girls in Fort Worth, and, just different things, but it's changed a lot. The cost has changed a lot.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I definitely miss having somewhere to go any night of the week, because I'm not I just want to get my dance in because that's my happy place. But sometimes it can't be your happy place when everybody's, exactly. That makes it
dance. It's a release. It's not your life, but it's a small portion of your life that give you that release. And for me, a big release, because I'm dealing with criminals every day, all day, and seeing so much
stuff
of things, inflictions towards women and children, and just so much. And you want that release. You get on that dance floor, all your problems are gone for that 3 minutes of that song.
Yeah, I even I posted one day, it's been a few years ago now. I had a friend, I went out one night and I had a hard, rough day, and I just wanted to say, let me go see if I can get me a drink and a dance. That's all I wanted. And I asked this a male to dance, and he couldn't dance because his person didn't want him to dance with me. I don't know if it was with me or with anybody. And it was like, wow, it did not used to be like this. Like you could go and you didn't have to worry about who was with Susie, who was with Paul, and you could just go say, hey, come on, let's dance. And it was, of course you ask if they're with someone, you ask that, but that's what I miss that the most, being able to go out on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Go get your dance on. You don't even have to drink. Just go out and have your dance. And that's what I miss the most. And then
I enjoyed a few times. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, a few times during the pandemic. And it's still a pandemic.
Yeah.
When it was,
don't forget that.
Yeah, when people was not getting out as much. Deborah Dowell.
Yeah.
First lady. We would get together. We still get together. We would get together and meet up in the park or, somewhere, and we would dance if we didn't do it, and it was a relief just a release. Be able to do that. Yeah.
I did a lot of the stuff they did. They did some things virtual, and I did some of those things, but Dominic Hammond used to play all the time virtual. I get up in my kitchen at the time and just do my steps by myself. I've asked Houston Bio when I interviewed them, which was an awesome interview. This was before pre-pandemic, that they have a reunion, a whole weekend reunion, and they were thinking about it at the time, but of course we had the pandemic. So hopefully once now things seem like numbers are going down, things are happening, hopefully that they will be able to do that, because that's going to be something. That's going to be something, even though with the pandemic, we lost a lot of the people.
We talked about that, Joanne and I, and my senior moment. Clyde, we talked about that. We talked about that over the telephone, and then we talked about it again when we we saw it at a memorial service when Tina Abrams' mom had passed. We all, we saw one another there. And that was something we talked about, and that would be a nice thing.
But it's gonna be awesome, because I told them I'll definitely be a part of it. It's very important to have them because they were the first ladies. I'll say Joanne Ford. She
right. And Houston Bayou City was the largest dance organization there was.
And I'll say, moving to that question, to my next question is, with the entertainment community, music, entertainment in general, it's always been promoters. It's always been kind of a man's world. Do you find that, think about, we had women that was running Houston Bayou who was kind of doing the damn thing. You had Clyde, of course. Clyde, we ain't forgot about you, but doing the damn thing, right? We had, So You Want to Dance, May I Say Myself, was a woman-led organization. Soul to Soul, My Style, A Woman's Touch. We had all those things in place that women were leading, but they end up moving down. And I don't, that's not a proper word, but they weren't respected as much. Let me just say that. And my question to you is, do you think the dance community in Houston is becoming a male dominated community?
I think it's trying to be. And I think because we don't have any strong female instructors now.
Or promoters.
Correct. And we need to get that back. You know, there was, you know, of course you, and then Diana Howard,
Absolutely.
you know, was doing it. It was, everybody went to you guys for everything. And I don't think the promoters was respected as much as they should have been, or valued.
The ones that, like the ones in Dallas, they love the ones in Dallas.
Right. And they're just not valued as much. And I think that if there's instructors that are female that are out there, and someone trained female instructors, or the old ones, some of the old ones come back and join together, put out more female instructors, I think it would be back. You know, I don't think swing out male instructors are dominant. It's more or less now, mostly of the instructors are Chicago steppers, which is male. So.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that women need to, this is the same old thing, women just need to continue to support, because we don't want to be out here doing the decorations. Well, you want to do the decorations because you're an event planner, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want to just be decorating. We don't want to just be in the kitchen cooking. We don't want to be behind the scenes. We
right.
need
or just
running stuff.
Right. Or need that woman just to, I need you to take the money, or be the face behind the scenes.
Yes.
You know, and that's with all the organizations that we have. That's
absolutely
because you know, the black and white ball, that's all men.
Right. That's in the
nice event, but it's all men.
But in the back of the men, there are women doing a lot of work.
Doing all the work. And I think they had another male group. I can't remember.
Yeah. The one that used to give the New Year's Eve deal.
You're right. But they didn't do it by themselves. All the work was done, I'm sure, by all the females.
Yeah. And I was going to mention, I've had several ladies, because even though people try to act like there's no So You Want to Dance no more, I still get those calls from people. And few females who they won't apologize to me, but they will say things like, you know, you were a woman doing great things, and we jumped behind those men who never recognized us. And so now that we're not behind them, helping them do those events anymore, those events are done, are gone. You know,
and that's usually the way it is. That's usually the way it is. You can tell who's really behind a lot of things, no matter whether it's male and female running it, or all male or all female. You can tell the force behind it, because once that person is removed, everything crumbles.
Everything falls. Yeah.
Right.
We just gotta, as women, hey, well, now you asked me to cook in the back or serve the beans. So is my name gonna be anywhere on the paper? You gonna call me out the kitchen to say, hey, so and so help? Let's thank these people. You know, that's even in my souvenir book. Everybody that was on my committee did even if you just gave me a bottle of liquor, it was in there so you could be recognized. So anyway, I just think
I think it's more of it not as much as the men. We shouldn't look for the men to lift us up and recognize us. I think it should be the women that empowers one another.
But if they have the event, is what I'm saying. If the male, let's just use, I don't know, if Johnny had a black and white ball. If he had one, if he's the one that has the microphone all night, he needs to call. That's what I mean. But
recognize the people that made this happen.
Yes, they need to be called out. We need to see their faces, who was behind the scenes. And but I definitely agree with what you said. Women need to empower each other. We need to be holding each other up. Hell, why can't we run? Why, since So You Want to Dance is gone, it's a few other people that gave things. There is not one. Well, Tina Morales has the competition. That's a little different, but she has competition. But there's not one all-female organization right now that's hosting events. The last one was the gala, and that's sad. To me, that's a sad thing. That was a platform for women to. I had men help out. They were named, but if you look at the people that was on the dance floor when it was time to recognize, there were women. You know,
that you just put it out there for somebody to come and do an all-female group.
There you go, y'all. Come on, because I ain't gonna do it, but y'all.
An all-female group. To just
We
come
need that though. We need women to step up and start doing everything,
and show
doing
it
more
how
than
it needs to be
being
done.
back
Just like
there in the back.
need to show them how it should be done.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Show them how it should be done and recognize each other. What is the most challenging thing about teaching, in your opinion, for you?
The most challenging, for teaching.
Well, let's say teaching or being in such a large dance community.
Well, now dance community will be the competition. It's not, for me, I think it's not as much for the love of the dance as much as it is for individual accolades. You know, you want the recognition. That's challenging to be in that competitive state. It's not that, your students over here, it's a clique, I got students over here and you got your students, and it's just, when they're in your class, they're your students. If they're in somebody else's class, they're their students. It's no such thing as these are my students and you don't go to anybody else's class. You don't do anything else other than what mommy or daddy says. Yes. I think that's challenging to be out there in that competitive, and this instructor is, doing whatever because of this instructor, and everybody's just clashing together. There's nobody there to help the student because it's too much
they're fighting for the
attention towards one another rather than towards the students. So
that's another accolade I could give to Houston Bio. They encouraged us to go to other classes. When we finished basic, that's how I met Rodney. That's how I met Rock. That's how I met so many other people, because they encouraged you to go to other classes. They didn't feel like we're the only ones, and even from my understanding, ASLD, they'll say, hey, we done brought you here. Now it's time for you to move on to somebody else. Like that was not an issue back then.
Right.
So weird.
Right. Okay. And that is one thing, we did that because I was part of HBC. I was on the board and an instructor. Yeah. And that was one thing. Everybody was always encouraged. Go to other events. It wasn't never that, no, you're not allowed to go in events until you 50 years old. If the crew don't go, you don't go. You don't go. Go to other events and learn to dance with other people. See how other people follow. See how other people lead. That helps you to advance. It helps you to be able to dance with everybody. Right. And then also it helped to, if there's an event and I don't know, everybody couldn't go from Houston Bio to Houston Bio, go over there, that means you're represented. You're represented. Two could go here, two could go there, because back then they did used to have events on the same day sometime, but these two could go here, two could go there. We all tried to make it very seldom. It was very seldom because back then when we considered dance was fun, the instructors or those that were having the events would pick up the phone. They didn't send an email or an Instagram. They picked up the phone and worked it out. Okay, when are you having your event? Are you having a graduation? Okay, we're going to have graduation. Everybody kind of had graduations around the same time. So what they did, planned it out. You have your graduation this month. I'm going to have mine the next month or the next 2 months or whatever. Yeah. And everybody supported everybody. Yeah. And it was easier to support because it wasn't a 3-4 day or all week event. Because a whole month of events for one event. The pandemic, you have to be conscious not only of your health but your finances. And even before the pandemic, with these 3-day events, you have to pick and choose. You can't support everybody. You can't go to everybody's event. You have a choice, and you have to see what's most important. Whether it's going to that that individual's event and saying I was there and be in a picture. I worry about your health, and you're in the picture, but you're not here anymore. Just to say you was at that event. Yeah. So you have to be conscious, and you can't blame a person for thinking about their family, their health, and their finances. Yeah. Because events are not $20 anymore. They're $200. They want $15 just to go
to a middle of the week thing at somebody else's club.
Exactly. And you have to look at that, because if you're traveling out of town, you got to pay $179 or whatever for the event. Then you have to pay for the hotel. And then you paying for 3-4 days. That adds up.
Adds up. Yeah. And it's funny that you say those things, because it makes me know I'm not crazy for thinking about people's finances. So I was on a show where I've been beat up for that several times, but I always think about that when I'm having an event, whether it's a swing out event, a Zydeco, whatever the event is. I always try to think about, I want people to come. Yes, I need to pay my bills, but I want people to be able to come and have a good time, have a nice event. What can I do to do that? And what I have to do is look for nice hotels, but hotels that match the budget so that I don't have to charge so much. Because you can go out and get a hotel that's charging you $600 a night and break everybody's pocket. But I could also find a very nice hotel that probably got breakfast and lunch, breakfast and dinner, that won't cost that much. So when people say, well, you want something nice, because I think I was compared to steak and McDonald's, is what someone said, who didn't know me, by the way. Because I only charge, because I said you should charge just $25. But $25 is what I took to make sure. I knew I wasn't gonna have no profit, but I knew those people were gonna have a good time. They had a sit-down dinner with hot food, mind you. So that's all I'm saying, is that you can look for venues that are nice.
Yeah.
And then too, they're gonna foot and a toe.
People don't look at the fact that, as they say, they don't remember the million things that you did to help or to support. They only remember, and it's embedded in their brain, that one time that you don't. And then you will always, and they don't think about the fact that you're going to remember that one time, all the times that you did help and support, and that one time that you did, and the way they made you feel on that time. And, they have to think, okay, if this person is always at my events, they've always supported me, and they're not there. Why can't you pick up the phone or reach out and say, you know what, I missed you at my event. What happened? Is everything okay? Because you don't know that person's story. You don't know what that person was going through, that they didn't support you that one time.
So what is the most rewarding? We talked about the most challenging. What's the most rewarding part about being an instructor or part of this big dance community?
The most rewarding thing for me was like people that would come to the class, didn't know how to dance, didn't know, saying I got 3 left feet, things like that, or they, it kind of brought them out of their shell. People that was just coming out because they recently got a divorce, or something bad happened to them and their family and they just needed to get out. One young lady shared her story with me a few weeks ago when she was talking about how she got into dance, about her husband, of 30 years, was killed. And so she brought me to tears. I've had people come to me for various reasons, for mental reasons, that they going through things and they just needed to get out and about. And I had one lady that had a stroke, and they told her that she would never walk right. And she came to me, and I got her moving and dancing. I always say the devil is a lie. He is not in control of you. God is. So work it out. And that's rewarding to see them come out of their shell and see that bright light in their face, and they're happy. So that means you've accomplished something. You've done something to make that person's life a little bit better, to bring a smile to their face. So that's rewarding for me.
And what do you, Lucy, do to chill and relax?
Most times to just chill, I come home, or right now I'm working from home. But I get in here and I call it the shop. I get in my front room and I'll see something where somebody think it's something to be thrown away, and I take it and turn it into something I can use for my event. Or I'll make a wall, for a backdrop. I'll just put stuff together and just make different. I get with my grandkids and we may do crafts, or make flowers for the event. When I'm doing a wedding or something, I make all my own stuff from scratch, just make it myself. So I enjoy doing that. That's what I do to relax. and along with maybe a glass of wine every now and
What's
then.
next for Lucy Carroll? Do you have anything coming up that you want to let us in on? What's next?
I would just say keep your eyes open and your ears peeled. Because
Okay.
I'm working on a couple of things.
Right.
I'm working on a couple
cross
of
some fingers that you get to retire soon and live that retirement life.
Yes, that everything works out with my retirement and it's done. My goal, my vision board is 12/31/21 for retirement, as well as that will be a double celebration, retirement plus my birthday, which is 12/31.
It had been the same every year, just FYI.
It stays the same. My birthday never changes. It's always going to be December 31st, New Year's Eve. That's not going to change. And I'm not going to stop the celebration because that's the day that the Lord gave to me. So that's my vision, to be retired and then step off into my new venture.
Your new journey.
So that'll be the ending of one and the beginning of another.
Do you have any last words that you want to speak to the audience?
Well, I'm glad that you invited me on. I thank you for that, because I'm not one to just be vocal, because as quiet as it's kept, even though I teach dance and do events, I'm a very private and shy person. And I encourage those that dance to keep dancing. Don't give up. And those ladies that want that extra critiquing, if they feel that they can come to me or that they see something in me that they can learn and dance, by all means come. If male or female, if you want to be an instructor, I'll do what I can to help you to get there when it comes to swing out, because I don't vow to be a two-step or a Chicago stepping instructor.
Yeah.
Swing out.
In your lane.
At DFW style.
Yeah.
Strictly. So I'll encourage them, but all ladies just, stay focused, stay positive. Don't ever say never. Don't think that there's no goal that you have in mind that is too high to reach. Always push for your goal, your dreams. Because I had to step back from mine for a while because of medical reasons, because I had an event venue, Solitaire. And I had to step back because of medical reasons, regardless of this, that, and the rumors.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a regular 9-to-5. It took a toll on me. So I stepped back from that.
Yes, y'all, we have jobs.
Right. And I haven't stopped my event. That hasn't stopped. I still do weddings, whatnot. Matter of fact, I did one a couple of weeks ago and got few coming up. But
well, and I just want to make that clear, y'all. Lucy does do weddings, because she was shocked that somewhere we went not too long ago, they did not know, they were part of the dance community. They did not know she did event planning and weddings. So she does weddings, events, decorative,
birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, divorce parties. I do it all. I mean, nothing too big, too small.
And Lucy, I just want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I publicly want to say that I apologize to you in private, but I apologize to you in public for, some years that we lost due to, listening to other
communication
I should have. And I want to just say that I'm glad that we reconnected. One thing about me, when I'm wrong, I tell you, and I did come to you and say what I had to say to you. And we got past that, but publicly, I just want to say that we did lose some time, and I hope we don't ever have to do that again. And I appreciate the friendship that we've made and everything that you do for me, and always having an open ear, and for you and your shy self coming on here and doing this tonight.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because I'll encourage or invite anyone to come to me if they feel that I've said something or wronged them in any kind of way, to come and talk to me about it, because I really don't know that I've done that, because I'm not that type person. I'm a very caring and nurturing person. So, if I've done that, I would like to discuss it and clear the air.
If you said it, you'll tell them that you said it.
You know that. I will tell you, I will say what I said, and the other person too. I have no
No qualms about
not
that.
short on words. I am not short on words.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me to give you that olive branch and you accepting it, and we've been able to move on. And I'm really excited to have my friendship with you back. Thank y'all for taking the time to click in to chat with Trina. I've enjoyed you, Miss Lucy. This was cool. I'm glad some people got to hear what your other things that you do in this world, because you wouldn't tell them otherwise.
No, I would not.
And I'm glad that you survived COVID-19. Okay.
Yes, that's why I know God got something special planned for me.
Got something special.
He's working it out. Things are falling right in place.
Thank y'all for making a choice to click in the chat with Trina, and I will see y'all later. Thank you again, Lucy, for chatting with Trina tonight. I really enjoyed your company. It was great. And good luck on your upcoming retirement. Guys, don't forget to go to youtube.com/chatwithtrina, subscribe, and then hit the little bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video.